And he's flogged that mercilessly. To me, he looks like a man playing against a bunch of kids. Larson had a pretty torrid time early on, but now figures are slightly more respectable. I wonder for how much longer. Inzamam beginning to really open his shoulders.
Yes, and I wonder what he must be thinking of his decision now. But I suppose he knew that.
Again, just playing with a despairing dive from Dion Nash. But he knew exactly what he was doing.
Yes, that was improvisation. He knew exactly what he was doing. He knew that the fielder has been brought up into the ring, and seeing that vacant position, Inzamam placing himself outside off stump to a ball which I think probably pitched middle and off.
I think you're right. Larson takes it all pretty phlegmatically. He's a very sound individual, but it must be hurting this. So Thompson out there. He's bowled pretty well, but he's been under the cosh like they all have. Good bit of work behind the stumps by Perori, and a tester for umpire Kanji. Perori says, come on, let's have a look at the television replay, but Mr. Kanji not impressed. Let's have a look at this. Yeah, the foot looked as if it was just back.
Yes, well, it looked as though the foot was back.
Always in a bit of an enigma. You're never quite sure what you're going to get, but when he's on song, he's sort of the answer, the Pakistan answer to Sachin. He's never going to be as compact, and probably his footwork is never going to be as good, but playing against fast bowling, he's got a very good eye, Inzamam. And when he sets his mind to it, he's a bit of an infuriating type of player to watch, because when you go in, your expectation is so high, because he looks such a well-organised player, and then his concentration sometimes is not what it should be. He gets himself out, and you feel let down as a spectator, because he's the kind of player, and he's got a few hundreds in Sharjah, and when he does, invariably Pakistan win.
And Inzamam, a wry smile from him. Just eludes Harris, it was. The leaping figure at short mid-wicket. So they're through for a couple.
Yes, Harris, there we'll see Inzamam playing that wideish of him. Gets full marks for trying. I mean, after all the battering that all the bowlers are getting, and he's also in the middle of it, he's giving more than 100%.
Inzamam on 83. And we're seeing diving fielders both sides of the wicket, but unfortunately none of them can get too much on it. This is Hale on 86. Could get a couple here. They're showing a bit of misfielding.
Played that just wide there of Harris at mid-wicket, and the torrent of runs continues. Here's Nash to Inzamam. And that is going to be his 100. It is 4 runs. Inzamam-ul-Haq goes to 101. He has got there first. Sohail still on 95. It was a gift, a full toss. He hit it for 4 and waves to his adoring fans.
And what a superb mark this has been. Right from the time he's arrived at the crease, he's been middling the ball. Oops.
Oh my goodness me, that's a painful celebration. It's in the air, but it's through the gap, and that's 4 more. Nash to Inzamam. Oh, it's over the top, 4 more. Chipping it over the top with the greatest possible ease. Nash again to Sohail. That is his 100. Well played, Amir Sohail.
Oh, that's a lovely hit. Straight over the bowler's head, 4 runs. straight down the wicket that. 2, 6, 7 for 1. You see the very bright start. Bit of the lowering of the tempo after the 10th over, and then up again after that. That's a big hit to long on, 4 runs. The ball travelling far too quickly for the long on there, even to run across and cut it off. And that's a big hit. Could be a 6. We'll have to wait for the fielder's signal. No, it's a 4. Over the mid-wicket fielder and first bounce into the boundary line.
Larson trying to get it in the block hole desperately there, but just high enough as a full toss to be fetched over the top to that vacant wide mid-on position.
That's up in the air. He could be out caught, is he? No, drops in front of the fielder, which is Young, and they go through for just the one. And perhaps Young could have been a little quicker running in there. He might have got closer. Let's watch it.
Yes, it fell between the two. It's a question of whether Young could have got in quicker, as you say.
One more. 287 for 1 at the end of the 46th over. So the only batsman out, Saeed Anwar, Pot Karoria bowled Nash for 37. He faced 23 deliveries. And it's Harris now bowling to Sohail, who moves away from his stumps and plays it down to third man for 4. Harris quite disappointed there that he didn't play it on to the stumps, but the ball going past the stumps for 4.
Well, Sohail gave himself just too much room really there, and it was a nick, and Harris probably felt that he'd done him, but he just got a little nick on the ball to take it wide of the stumps.
It's another big hit, could be 4. The ball travelling to the deep square leg area. It's 4 runs, and now both these batsmen throwing their bat at every delivery, trying to pile on the agony. And let's watch that again. The big heave, and it's gone for 4. That's over mid-wicket. Could be another 4. There's a fielder running there, and it's 4 runs to the mid-wicket boundary. 299 for 1. The crowd on their feet, and this is a real romp.
It is, and perhaps they've conserved their strength sufficiently with their just angling between the stumps from overs from about 20 on to 40, that now they've got enough energy left in these final few overs to hit the ball to the fence with monotonous almost regularity.
299 now, and these two batsmen have really just dominated the proceedings today. And they still look hungry for more runs.
Look at that bowling for New Zealand. There's a couple under 6s, but only 2, and up as high as 9.3. So the bowlers today take quite a mauling there, including skipper Larson at 7.1 runs per over. All suffering from the sword today.
Driven on the offside, and that's the 300 for Pakistan. 300 coming in the 47th over, to the delight of the supporters.
An amazing run rate of 6.4 and over. And I remember watching that partnership with envy, because I wasn't on that tour, one of the very few that I've missed. But earlier I had played with Saeed Anwar and got a record partnership in Sharjah, a record run partnership of 204 that Saeed and I got, and both got our first hundreds here in Sharjah as well. Well, there's plenty more to come, and see history being made in just a moment.